You ever think you're just out for a walk, minding your own, and suddenly the whole world decides to watch you? I mean, not just watch, but judge, calculate, make you feel like the villain in your own neighborhood. That's how it started for me, and Titan One's sunset, one leash, and three men who thought nobody would ever call them out. That's the funny thing about power, you know? Sometimes it's so used to going unchecked that it forgets some people have spent their whole lives training for the moment they're finally tested. Anyway, let me back up a sec. This isn't just another story. What happened in Santa Barbara that night with Titan and those officers, it's not just about me or even just about justice. It's about how easy it is to ignore the cracks in a place until one night the light hits just right and shows everyone what's been growing in the shadows. You ever feel that? The way silence can get heavy, like it's watching you as close as any neighbor. So, picture this. The sky's melting from gold to that deep bruised purple the Pacific only gets in spring, and I'm clicking Titan's leash on, trying to keep my hand steady. That dog, my wife Camille trained him herself, God rest her soul. She poured all her stubborn hope into that Malinois. Said he was too sensitive for combat, too good for any handler but her. And when she passed, it was like she left me a piece of herself to guard what was left. I still wear her tags around my neck. Some days they feel heavier than my own bones. Titan and I used to walk the same path every evening down Mission Ridge, past the houses with their trimmed hedges, along the bluff where the sea breeze hits your cheeks just so. Most days it was routine. But you know how sometimes you can just sense the air's changed, like a storm's coming? That night I could feel it. Fewer waves from neighbors, more eyes peeking from windows, fewer smiles, more silence. Even Titan was different, every muscle wired, ears twitching, eyes sharp. That's when I noticed the patrol car, idling, lights off, engine humming just loud enough to say, "We see you." I told myself what every black woman's learned since forever. Keep moving, don't react, don't give them a reason. But fear doesn't wait for your permission, does it? Camille's voice in my head, walk like you own the ground, Elle. Don't let them erase you. So I did. Every step felt like a memory, every breath a refusal to be small. But I knew he'd marked me, not as a neighbor or a professor, just as a problem. In this town, it likes its problems quiet. Those three cops? Clay Brenner got that politician's smile and eyes that never smile with it. Matt Riley Young, skittish, probably still calls his mom after every shift. And Drew Watkins always laughing a second too long when it isn't funny. I've been seeing them everywhere for weeks. Gas station, dog park, just sitting around the corner like they belonged there more than I did. They never said much, but intimidations like perfume never has to say a word. That night, though, they didn't bother to leave. Titan started a low growl, deep in his chest. I gripped his leash tighter, didn't look back. But I knew they were hunting. Not fast, not reckless, just deliberate. Testing me, daring me to respond. What they didn't see, what they couldn't, was that I'd fought for every inch of ground. I stood onkless rooms, jobs, love. I buried Camille with one hand and held myself upright with the other. No room left for fear. I turned down a side street, Titan closer than ever. The cruiser glided after us, just close enough. The sun split the clouds one last time, and I let that light warm my face, let them watch. You picked the wrong woman. The next day, it felt like everyone knew. The whispers, the way people crossed the street to avoid me, the way even the bookstore kid who always smiled wouldn't meet my eyes. Titan and I walked past a coffee shop, and there they were, same cops, only now parked up front. Clay leaning on the car, Drew idly spinning his baton, Matt pretending to scroll his phone. "Morning, ma'am," Clay calls out, that sugar-slick voice. I don't stop. "Officers," I say, even measured. "Walking that big old dog again." Drew taunts, like he's just being friendly. Titan shifts, senses the threat under the joke. Clay steps forward, resting his hand on his belt. "Pretty dog. What's he trained for?" I stop, not because I'm scared, but because we're past passive now. "He's trained to protect," I tell him, and to recognize danger. That cracks his mask for just a second. Then it's back, smirk and all. We've had complaints. Folks nervous about a big dog like that. "He's leashed," I say, "as required by law. Perception matters, he says, and I shoot back. Is this a warning, Sergeant? Just looking out for safety, he says, all casual. Are you? I ask, because it feels more like you're reminding me you're watching. The air between us? It thickened like storm clouds. I kept walking, Titan glued to my side. A woman with a stroller crosses the street to avoid me. Not the first, won't be the last. You start to wonder when a neighbor's eyes stops seeing you as a person. I played Camille's old voice memo on my phone. Whatever happens, don't let them shrink you, especially when they smiled doing it. Yeah, she knew. The third time it followed, it was different. No more hiding. I took Titan on a path behind the old Miss Iona place that used to feel sacred, safe. Titan stopped dead, body rigid. I turned. The cruiser was crawling toward us, headlights off, silent as a predator. Clay at the wheel, Drew already out with the baton, Matt still in the back. Nobody around. Sun almost gone. Clay steps out, adjusts his shirt like he's about to give a speech. Evening, Miss Jameson. Beautiful night, huh? Titan's growl is lower now, older. You're not here for the weather, I say. Clay tries to laugh it off. Just making sure everyone's safe. Are you? I reply, and I mean it. Drew starts to circle me, baton in hand, but I turn with him, Titan between us. You're not allowed to do this, I warn. Clay shrugs. We're not doing anything. Yet, Drew says, stepping closer, eyeing the tags around my neck. Mind if I see those? They're not yours. I answer steady. He reaches anyway. I don't flinch, never do. Guard. I say to Titan, and suddenly he's between us, not attacking, but ready, all teeth and muscle. Drew stumbles back. Clay hovers near his firearm. Call him off, he barks. Now. I don't move. He hasn't touched you, I say. This isn't going to end well for you, Clay threatens. You're right, I say back, but not for me. Then, a twist of faint buzzing above. A drone. Some teenage neighbor, Jordan, out testing his new camera, caught it all. Suddenly, the hunters realize they're the ones being watched. Drew hears the buzz, looks up. Shit, he says. Clay follows his gaze, sees the blinking light. That's my cue. Titan heel. Titan eases back beside me, still a wall of muscle, but calm. I walk past, slow and proud. Clay and Drew don't move. Matt steps out, pale, looking almost sorry. You good with this? He asks the others, but they don't answer. I don't look back. Later that night, Jordan uploads the video. No music, no edits, just the silent menace of the cruiser, the reach for my tags, Titan's warning, the officers caught out. And it goes viral. Santa Barbara can't look away. People pick sides. Some say I was brave. Others call me trouble. A few claim I trained Titan to attack. But the truth? Everyone saw what the silence had allowed. By morning, I'm news. Neighbors avoid me. Strangers shout support from across the street. And kids ride by on bikes, yelling, "We got your back, Miss Jameson." Some of it stings. Some of it warms me. The veterans' brunch is quieter than ever. A Marine widow sits beside me, wordless, just passes orange juice. The seat on my other side stays empty. My phone rings. It's Deputy Lake. DA's opening an investigation, she says. Patterns. You had a witness, a dog who didn't back down. What does that mean for me? I ask. Things get louder before they get better, she admits. That night, someone spray paints liar on my mailbox. Next morning, yellow tulips on my porch. At the market, the owner says, you shouldn't have talked back to them. So, I should have let them corner me? I ask. They didn't touch you, he says, like that's the point. Sometimes things are exactly what they look like. I answer. On my way home, a woman stops me. Showed the video to my daughter. She thinks you're a hero. I don't want to be anyone's hero. I just want to walk my dog. But silence is a choice, and I'm done being quiet. ADA Layla Carson calls. We've got a case, but only if you'll testify. I say yes without thinking. You'll be under a microscope, she warns. They'll question everything. They always have, I reply. That night, Titan lays at my feet. Whatever happens, I whisper, we won't do it small. Court day comes. The marble floors swallow every sound. Titan waits outside, but I can feel him steady as always. The defense paints those officers as misunderstood. But then the drone video plays no words, just the truth. The slow creep of the car, the reach, the warning. I take the stand. Layla's questions are clean, sharp. I speak the truth about what happened, about what it meant. About Camille, about Titan. About choosing, in that moment, not to shrink. The defense tries to twist it, but I don't blink. If telling the truth sounds exaggerated, maybe you haven't listened long enough. The verdict, guilty on all counts. Clay's face is stone. Drew looks away. Matt's hands shake. I just breathe deep. When I step outside, Titan's waiting tail high, eyes bright. We did it, I tell him. We held the line. For the first time in weeks, I feel free. Look, I never meant to be a symbol. Just a woman walking her dog, honoring her wife, holding on to the last piece of peace she had. But sometimes history finds you and demands you stand up. I could have gone silent, picked a different route, pretended fear was just in my head. I didn't, and that changed everything. You know what I mean? Bravery doesn't always roar. Sometimes it walks, silent and proud. The footage didn't just show a dog growling or a woman refusing to step back. It showed the cost of dignity, the power of refusing to disappear. Titan was Camille's final gift. She always said I'd never need saving, just someone to stand beside me. She was right. When the town split, some people calling me trouble, others calling me brave, I didn't chase applause or hide from blame. I spoke when it mattered. I testified when it counted. In doing that, I forced them to see what they tried to ignore. In the end, justice wasn't just about the verdict. It was about refusing to let power walk unchecked, about proving that silence isn't peace. Maybe it's at work, maybe it's on your street, maybe it's just in your heart, holding on for someone who can't anymore. Dignity isn't a gift. It's a choice. And I hope, if my story made you feel something, if it opened your eyes or lit a fire, share it. Talk about it. Bring light to someone who's tired of being unseen. Because stories like this theory not just meant to be watched. They're meant to make us move.